on the screen, Steve, and then seeing my box score, betting has become popular in the United States because the delay is that much bigger, and it's a big lead right now for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
51-23, Timberwolves over the Oklahoma City Thunder as we approach mid-second quarter of Game 3 of the NBA's Western Conference Final. This is not just some run-of-the-mill opponent. This is the best team from the regular season that's getting their clocks cleaned on the road right now. Oklahoma City went 32-8 on the road in the regular season. Right now, they are shooting 25% from the floor. 7 baskets made, 7 turnovers. They're down 51-23 at Minnesota. Anthony Edwards with 16 points, 6 of 8 shooting so far. In the East, Game 3 is Sunday night at Indiana. Pacers lead 2-0 over New York. New York's WNBA team was a winner at Indiana today, 90-88. Caitlin Clark, 10 assists, 10 turnovers. Atlanta beat winless Dallas, 83-75. Dallas 0-4. There's an NHL playoff game going on. About 8.5 minutes to go, second period at Florida. Panthers already up in the East Final, 2-0, leading tonight, still 1-0 over Carolina. Fox TV will have the Indy 500 on Sunday. To Major League Baseball, the Guardians are tied 3-3 at Detroit, top of the 8th. Cleveland has bases loaded, 2 outs as well. Most of the country on Fox TV seeing the Mets leading the Dodgers 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Juan Soto had a 2-run double in this game. There are 2 late games starting in a half an hour, and they include the Phillies, winners of 8 in a row, playing the A's in Sacramento. The A's have lost 10 straight. Texas lost its 6th game in a row. White Sox beat them 10-5. The Yankees' Aaron Judge with his 18th homer to lead the majors. Yanks won at Colorado 13-1. The losing pitcher Kyle Freeland now 0-7 for the Rockies. ERA up near 6. Minnesota with a run bottom of the 9th beat Kansas City 5-4. And Baltimore with a record of 16-34 survived the split, a doubleheader at Baltimore.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
Well, nice job, Ahmed. Welcome live from Angel Stadium on a 67-degree Saturday night, late-night baseball on the West Coast again. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940. Miami, game 50 of 162. And I'll tell you, it was an odd game for the Marlins last night. They out-hit LA 14-6, but dropped game 1 7-4. The offense got cooking past closing time, and the Marlins find themselves in a punchback position here in the middle game. We're pumped to bring you game 2 of a 3-game interleague set between the 24-24 Los Angeles Angels and your 19-30 Miami Marlins. Cal Quantrill turned his season around in the month of May. He's pitching to a 3.14 ERA over 3 starts in the month of May. He toes the rubber for the Fish. Ron Washington will send Jose Soriano to the hill tonight for the 11th time this season, looking to extend this Angels win streak to 9. First pitch slated for 10:07 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Saturday night with Jack McMullen and Marlins All-Star closer AJ Ramos. I am Steven Strom. Let's get you the lineup for the show tonight. I fear we're going the distance. We got another power-packed broadcast, and we thank you for your participation. Cal Quantrill and Jack will talk about what's performed well with Cal. We mentioned the 3 ERA. And when I say maybe it's subjective. For me, baseball legend, Ron Washington, manager of the Los Angeles Angels, will join the program. He's been in pro ball as a player and coach since 1977. He dropped some wisdom. We have a great conversation. I'm so excited to share that with you guys. We'll get you out of the count with Cal and Soriano, plus we got a roster move as well. Jack and AJ will jump in for some back and forth, plus our X-Bowl question ups today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. So we mentioned Cal Quantrill. He's really been great in this month of May. 3.14 ERA over 14 and a third. Jack McMullen caught up with him yesterday on what's different and what's going to be key here tonight against the Hot Angels.
Thank you, Stephen. Cal, immaculate fourth last time out. Did you know in real time that you threw an immaculate inning or no?
I feel like I was recognizing it on the way off the mound. Hicksy was acting kind of funny behind the dish, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
What was clicking? Obviously, it was 5 innings, a 2-hit ball. Like, you've leaned into your cutter, it seems, a little bit more over the last 3 starts. What's really gotten right for you in the month of May?
Yeah, I think I've gone back to how I was pitching, last 2-3 years, which is just a little more on the attack, more fastball, more cutter. I don't think that there's like a magic answer. Not promising that I'm going to stay there either, but I think that just kind of simplifying it and going kind of back to the basics was helpful.
Do you feel like it took a couple of starts to kind of shed the idea of, like, I need to rely on my splitter? Obviously, you kind of developed that habit right in Colorado. When do you feel like you kind of shook that habit?
Yeah, I think April was a little bit of a kind of a get back to, what I've done my whole career. I do think that the splitter usage was just too high, but it also just wasn't as good as it needed to be. I think it's gotten better recently. But yeah, sometimes you got to learn the hard way, and we had a couple bad ones to start, and now we're digging out a little bit, but as long as we're winning when I'm pitching, it's all good.
Angels lineup is hot right now. What jumps out about them?
I think that they've got a nice blend of young and veteran players. It's a little different than the team I faced last couple of years, but, I think that they're playing their best ball right now, and I think there's a couple guys in the middle of the order you got to be pretty aware of, but, I don't think it's anything that we can't game plan for, and we'll be ready to go.
You mentioned little different lineup, but this is a team you have had success against. You like throwing at this ballpark? What are your memories of throwing at this ballpark?
Yeah, it's a cool ballpark. It's a lot of older ballpark than I, maybe would have thought, but it's a beautiful ballpark. It's nice to be back in California, and I think I've had a fair amount of success here. But yeah, it's a big ballpark. It's nice to pitch in. Good visual from the mound, and hopefully keep it going.
All right, good stuff right there. Cal Quantrill and Jack McMullen. Again, Cal pitching to a 3.14 ERA in this month of May. He'll make his final start in the month of May. I think, maybe I'm assuming here, no, we do have an off day on Thursday, so I think this is going to be his last start of the month of May. But for Cal tonight, again, a good opportunity for him to get to 4, 5, 6 innings, hopefully give the Marlins a chance to win here. But this is an Angels team we saw yesterday is extremely hot. They've won 8 in a row. Career-wise against Anaheim, Cal is 1-1 with a 3.68 ERA, 36 2/3 innings pitched across 7 starts. We will break here. Coming up next, do not move an inch. Don't move the radio dial for our audio audience and our StreamYard audience. Ron Washington, the Angels manager, will join me next. We'll talk Sandy Alcantara. We'll talk his style, plus his scene from Moneyball. We'll talk about that. That is all next as we get you ready for a late night 10:07 first pitch on the Marlins Radio Network.
It's hard to put your finger on why that's happening.
Wagaman launches one high into the LA night left center field. That thing is back, and it's gone. Welcome home, Mr. Wagaman. Eric Wagaman with a solo homer to left center field, his 4th long ball on the year. And the Marlins are on the board. It's 6-1 Angels here in the 7th. A 2-for-3 day today, hitting .315. 0-1 pitch. That one rocketed out to right, down the line. That one rolling all the way to the wall past Soler. You got Norby around third. He's getting the run around home. Relay throw is pocketed by Rengifo, and it's an RBI double for a 3-hit day for Kyle Stowers. Whites for the Angels. And the 2-1 pitch. That one a rocket through the left side. A base hit. They're going to send Augustine. Paulie scores from third. Throw coming in is cut off by the third baseman Moncada, and that's a 2-run single for Wagaman. A 3-hit day in his return to Anaheim, and it's 6-4 Angels in the top of the 8th.
I mean, they've been swinging the bats very well. They've been, hitting a lot of home runs, and I think, having a chance to have seen the Angels the last few years, a couple times this season, you've seen some of their younger players that seem like they're taking some steps, forward and maturing. Nito at shortstop's very good, and Hoppy behind the plate. Shell now at first base. So these guys have, been up here for a few years now, and it seemed like maturing at the major league level. And so, right now, catching them at a time when they're playing well. But the beautiful part about that is, what happened yesterday, the day before, has no bearing on today. We'll have to go out this series and handle the baseball defensively, limit some of the opportunities that we give them on the pitching side with the free passes, and solo home runs, typically.
Back here on Marlins on Deck as we get you ready for the middle game, game 2 of this 3-game set. Angels, Marlins, 10:07 first pitch. Steven Strom here. We are pleased to be joined by Ron Washington, who's been in the game as a player and coach since 1977. And we had a great conversation yesterday off the record. I don't know if it's PG, but, your style in 2025, why do you think it still works, that old school, get in your grill kind of mentality?
Because it's baseball. It worked all the years I've been in the game, and what it did is it grew you up faster than you wanted to grow. And the way the game is today with the youth, you got to grow them up. And those that can handle it, they will move forward. Those that can't handle it, you need to know that too.
Again, you've been in this game for a long time. If you had to think of your biggest baseball influence, particularly when you were younger, who is it?
Dusty Baker, the Dodgers. I was in the Dodgers organization, and I was around Ron Cey, Steve Garvey, Rick Monday, those guys who's always battling with the Yankees for the World Series. And that's where I learned my baseball. I learned my baseball with the Kansas City Royals. I went to a baseball academy, but I got to the big leagues with the Dodgers, and those guys were the influence on me.
Can I call you Wash or no?
No, you can call me Wash. You can call me Skip. You can call me anything you want.
Wash. I love that. I just love that nickname. I really do. Last night with Sandy, man, we've seen a handful of starts. Obviously, we saw the Cy Young Award winner a couple of years ago. He's coming off Tommy John surgery, but I'm curious what you saw last night with Sandy. Take us through in the dugout.
I saw flashes of his fastball, and one thing about I remember about Alcantara was that he commanded everything. And, his command is a little shaky right now. But that's also getting back into the swing of things after missing a year. And I don't care how good you are, you miss a year of baseball, you got some catching up to do. Last night I didn't see his signature pitch, which was his changeup. And he used to could throw that at any time, and he always got a swing or he always got a take for a strike. And his breaking ball didn't have the depth that I'm used to seeing. But no, that's him. I watched him out on the mound, that's him. And he just didn't seem like he had the fire in him that he usually have. He's already a kickback type of guy, but when he's out there on that mound, he's a different animal, and he's fighting to get that back too. But I don't want to say what I want to say because I'll take that guy at a heartbeat.
Tell us about Soriano tonight. He's an interesting story, man. He was with the Angels, went to the Pirates, came back with you guys. What have you seen from him this year?
Well, what I've seen from him is maturity. He's learning that he can. And now he goes out there with a lot of fire. And what he is learning is when he get in trouble, how to pitch around it. Last year when he got in trouble, it imploded. So this year when he get in trouble, he's learned how to get out of it. And that's maturity right there. And he's only in his second full year. So there's a lot of upside there, and we're looking forward to it. And, his key pitch is his sinker. If he's got that working tonight, he'll have a lot of ground balls. If not, then those guys will be hitting a lot of fly balls. But, he's got a good knuckle curve. He's been working on his changeup, and he's learned how to put the ball around the strike zone, not just throw it in one area.
Last one for you. You won a World Series in 2021 with the Braves. Best of 7, 2021 Braves or your 2011 Texas Rangers?
I would have to take the Braves because they had everything. I mean, we had the pitching, we had the defense, we had the offense, we had the intelligence, we had the drive. I mean, they just had everything. In 2011, I had a great team, and we had twice almost won the World Series. But going all the way we did, and saw how we done it. We done it with pitching, we done it with defense, we done it with timely hitting, we done it with base running. Whatever part of the game was asked to do in 21, we did it. it was a perfect storm because we only won 88 games to win the division, and we came 10 and a half from behind to do that. So we just was caught at the right time, and we rode that wave all the way to the World Series.
All right, last one for you. I have to ask you about Moneyball. Do you think they portrayed you well with Hattiesburg and teaching him how to play first base?
Well, they did portray me well with Hattiesburg. The only difference is I didn't go to his house on Christmas Day. We did that at the Municipal Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. The conversation was what it was, but the portrayal in the movie, of course, they embellished that by saying that we went to his house. But we did talk to him about everything we said in that movie at his house, but we did it in the manager's office in Phoenix Municipal Stadium in Arizona.
Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. All right, tough to root against this guy, but we will tonight. Coming up next, we'll get you ahead the count. Cal Quantrill will toe the rubber for Miami. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
Oh, that it's hard to put your finger on why that's happening.
Wagaman launches one high into the LA night left center field. That thing is back, and it's gone. Welcome home, Mr. Wagaman. Eric Wagaman with a solo homer to left center field, his fourth long ball on the year. And the Marlins are on the board. It's 6-1 Angels here in the seventh. A 2-for-3 day today, hitting .315. 0-1 pitch. That one rocketed out to right, down the line. That one rolling all the way to the wall past Soler. You got Norby around third. He's getting the run around home. Relay throw is pocketed by Rengifo, and it's an RBI double for a 3-hit day for Kyle Stowers. Whites for the Angels. And the 2-1 pitch. That one a rocket through the left side. A base hit. They're going to send Augustine. Paulie scores from third. Throw coming in is cut off by the third baseman Moncada, and that's a 2-run single for Wagaman. A 3-hit day in his return to Anaheim, and it's 6-4 Angels in the top of the eighth.
I think, they've been swinging the bats very well. They've been, hitting a lot of home runs, and I think, having a chance to have seen the Angels the last few years, a couple times this season, you've seen some of their younger players that are seem like they're taking some steps, forward and maturing. Nito at shortstop's very good, and Hoppy behind the plate. Shell now at first base. So these guys have, been up here for a few years now, and it seemed like maturing at the major league level. And so, right now, catching them at a time when they're playing well. But the beautiful part about that is, what happened yesterday, the day before, has no bearing on today. We'll have to go out this series and handle the baseball defensively, limit some of the opportunities that we give them on the pitching side with the free passes, and solo home runs, typically don't beat you. So let's, do our best, not shoot ourselves in the foot, and just try to limit some of the extra opportunities.
Well, again, we really appreciate Ron Washington, Cal Quantrill for joining Marlins on Deck. I told you it was an action-packed show. Did I deliver or did I not? Marlins on Deck, Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, AJ Ramos. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every single Marlins game. Again, I hope you had your caffeine. I hope you are maybe doing some calisthenics, some exercise, because we got a late one tonight, 10:07. Again, Cal Quantrill will go opposite Jose Soriano. We will get you ahead of the count. We'll start here with Quantrill. We covered him for the most part for segment one with Jack McMullen, 30-year-old right-hander from Canada, 3-4, a 6.37 ERA, 36 frames combined. 8 starts. He earned the win on Sunday against the Rays, allowed 1 run on 2 hits, 5 innings, 6 punch-outs. It matched the season high for Cal, including that immaculate 4th inning. Last 3 starts for him, 3.14 ERA over 14 1/3. Not a ton of innings, but again, he's given the Marlins an opportunity to win. That's all this guy is asking to. This is all that Clayton McCullough is asking this guy to do. Career-wise against the Angels, 1-1, a 3.68 ERA, 36 2/3 innings pitched across 7 starts. Excuse me. Jose Soriano. This is a fascinating story. 26-year-old right-hander. He's had a unique journey. He signed with the Angels as an international free agent. That's an IFA, according to Jack McMullen, in March of 2016 for $70,000. Now, a couple of years into his tenure with the Angels, the Pirates selected Soriano in the 2020 Rule 5 draft. He was not part of that 40-man roster. He underwent Tommy John on June 15th of that year, and on November 14th, 2021, the Pirates returned Soriano back to the Angels organization. He worked his way through the minors. He debuted in 2023. He went from a bullpen piece to a starter, and now he has settled in for Ron Washington's Angels, 3-4, a 3.57 ERA, 10 starts, 58 innings pitched. Soriano picked up the W on Monday against the Athletics. He allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, which is something you got to keep an eye out for, a 10.8% walk rate. League average is 8.4. 4 punch-outs across 6 innings. He's got that really hard sinker. The Marlins are going to have to do a really nice job of keeping the ball up and getting it up in the air against Soriano. So that's your matchup on the mound tonight. Late night baseball here on this Saturday night in Anaheim. Cal Quantrill going opposite Jose Soriano. With more on tonight, Jack McMullen and AJ Ramos, they will join me on the other side of the break. 10:07 first pitch. Keep brewing that coffee on the Marlins Radio Network.
Marlins in front. And here it is. That's taken down low. It's ball 4. And Ramirez he stopped there for a moment. He will go to first. It's a bases loaded walk. Here's Montgomery's pitch. Ground ball hit up the middle. It's going to get through, base hit. Sanchez rounding third, gets the green light. He will score easily. Going over to third is Ramirez. And RBI, the throw gets over the shortstop's head. And the Marlins will take advantage as Stowers scampers into second base. Pitch. Line drive center field. Will it drop? Coming in hard. Meisner can't get it. Drops for a hit. 1 run will score. They will hold up Stowers, but it's an RBI hit for Wagaman. May have been a broken bat. It was off the end of the bat. Marlins will take it and regain a 3-run lead. 6th. Line to left field. Moving over is Simpson toward the corner. Sliding catch is made. It will be a sacrifice fly as Stowers will score. Pretty good catch out there by Simpson, but the Marlins get another run, and they lead now 8-4. Marlins looking for more in a big inning. Ground ball up the middle, grabbed on the backhand, and over to the base is Lau. Marlins thought they got in there, and he's in there. Derek Hill with that big speed.
So we'll get into the baseball, but we want to get to know Augustine, the person. We want to know about your childhood in Dominican Republic. How would you describe to us what it was like growing up?
Nada, un niño que nació en Dominicana. Lo que nos enseñan allá, ¿sabes? Ese amor por la pelota desde pequeño, jugando en los field y eso. Y después entonces pasar profesional, algo increíble.
Yeah, just like any other. First, tell them Jimmy Seffel told you to call Pioneer Roofing, 786-ROOFERS, or visit pioneerroofingcompany.com.
Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. Looking to bounce back after yesterday's 7-4 defeat at the hands of the Angels. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and AJ Ramos with you. 10:07 first pitch. Cal Quantrill going opposite Jose Soriano. We're at it again here, boys. Middle game. And AJ, I want to start with you after what you saw from this right now red-hot Angels offense. You combine that with Cal Quantrill, who's been really good this month, 3.14 ERA. What's the recipe for success for Cal tonight?
I mean, it's an obvious one, but stay out of the middle of the zone. I think that's one of the biggest ones. These guys are hitting mistakes, so the less mistakes you make, the more chance for success you're going to have. But specifically for Cal Quantrill, if he could establish that cutter up in the zone and arm side, he seems to get a lot of misses with that pitch, and then combo that with establishing his sinker down, that opens up 2 avenues. So when he's establishing his cutter up in the zone, it allows him to tunnel his curveball a little bit better. So when he does throw the curveball in the zone, they have to decipher, is that a cutter or is that a curveball? So it puts them maybe in between pitches. And when you establish that sinker down, it allows them to maybe bite at the curveball that's just out of the zone or the splitter that's just out of the zone to cause a little more swing and miss. All you have to do, or one of the things you have to do, is just keep them in between pitches.
Matched a season high with 7 punch-outs. You're pretty good at this, AJ. That was not really nice. Jack. Hi, Jack.
What's up, Steve?
How hard is it to keep Wagged out of the lineup right now?
You can't. You can't. Yeah, you can't keep him out of the lineup. So it's impossible to keep Eric Wagman out of the lineup. Is that what you wanted? You're sitting there smiling and nodding.
I really am. I mean, he's having a great year, and he continues to swing. I mean, 3 hits yesterday. How many 3-hit games is that for Wagman? But in all seriousness, man, what has he provided for this team, at least in the lineup offensively?
I think it's a consistent right-handed bat and a guy that can handle both sides of a platoon, right? He can handle right-handed pitching. Obviously, most right-handed bats can handle right-handed pitching, but this is not a guy that's just going to feast against lefties and then really struggle against righties. Like, he is a guy that has proven to be in this Marlins lineup an everyday bat for them, and he's provided some defensive versatility, right? He can play first base, he can play left field. We've seen him play both over the course of a single game. What he's done is provide just a steady, high-floor bat in the middle or near the top of this lineup. Eric Wagaman's been one of the bright stars in the Marlins lineup so far this year.
We go from arms to offense, back to arms, AJ. I'd love to talk about Jose Soriano. Yesterday was like a weird game for Miami's offense. They put together 14 hits. They just didn't get anything really going towards the back end of the game. What can you tell us about Soriano and what the plan will be offensively against him?
I think it's going to be his sinker, looking for his sinker. When he gets behind in the count, he throws that 75% of the time. That's like his field pitch. That's a pitch that he feels comfortable with. So he's going to try to establish that. So if we can jump on that a little early, that'll be great. But he's tough because he's been one of the guys that hit the corners. I saw this stat, and he throws 42.7% of his pitches on the edge of the zone.
Oh.
So when he's doing that, that makes it really tough because he has a lot of movement on his pitches, and he can throw multiple. He splits the zone. You know, he can make it go arm side, or he can make it go glove side. So that makes it a bit harder to decipher. But I think if we key on his sinker, I think that we'll find success.
Well, a big guy in this offense that continues to swing the bat, Jack, is Connor Norby. He's hit safely in 14 of 15 games. He's hitting 321 in that span. He'll bat seventh and play third, but I want you to tell me what you've seen from him. What's been the biggest difference with Connor over the last couple of weeks?
Well, you asked Connor what's been the big difference, and he said, I'm not swinging at balls and I'm swinging at strikes, right? And honestly, sometimes it is as simple as that. We were having this conversation a week and a half ago. Hey, we're 95 plate appearances into Connor Norby's 2025 campaign. How many walks does he have? 3? Like, this is a guy who has not walked much at all. And Clayton McCullough, in his pregame media availability, ID'd that Connor's walking a little bit. You don't need to walk to be awesome. Like, it helps to walk. It boosts the on-base percentage. But if you're finding yourself in counts that are getting deeper and deeper, and you're giving yourself more of an opportunity to get a pitch to hit, that's always going to work in your favor. I feel like we're seeing many more 2-ball counts and 3-ball counts against Connor Norby, and obviously advantage counts are 2-0, 3-1, 3-0. This is when you can eat, and Connor's getting to those advantage counts. He's getting his A swing off, his best swing, his hardest swing, a little bit more, and that's really where you see kind of that all-field pure hitter Connor Norby shine through.
First time this season he has walked in back-to-back games. He's raised the average. On May 30, he was hitting 220. He's up to 274. That's 54 points over the last couple of weeks. So good stuff on that end for Connor Norby. Good stuff, Jack McMullen. Good stuff, AJ Ramos. Those two have your call. We will break your Expo question. Steve's guarantee. It's all next on the Marlins Radio Network.
In deals. And Stowers hits one high in the air, out to left center. That's pushing Suzuki back. He's looking up, and it's gone. Kyle Stowers and Oppo Taco. Field can. 1-2 pitch. Augustine massacres a ball out to left and deep. That thing is gone. Augustine Ramirez cutting through the haze. And the second solo homer for the Fish doubles their lead in the top of the fourth. Homers. Well, they were all solo homers. 0-2 pitch. Stowers hits one deep again down the right field line. You got Tucker looking up, and that one is gone. A multi-homer day for Stowers, and his third multi-homer day on the year. And the homer fest against Tyone continues.
98 was the...
If you had to give us a pie chart of why you feel Sandy hasn't performed to what we think Sandy is, what would the slices look like?
I think the comeback from injury, I don't think it's a detail we can just gloss over. Like, I'm not going to put blame or make excuses, but Sandy was a guy who thrived on execution and command. And coming back from surgery, a significant one like Tommy John, execution and command tend to be the last thing to come back. You return to health, you feel strong, you usually return to your normal velocity, which he has shown he's capable of. Now, it will be hit or miss. Like, some days he's going to have probably 95, 97, and other days he's going to have 98 to 100. And that's another, you have to take inventory each day, each start of what you're going to have on that given day. Something that was encouraging, at least if we're going to isolate something from yesterday, is he started out the game mostly in the 95, 97 range, and then you saw about the fourth or fifth inning, he started to tick up to like 97, 98, grabbed 100.
Want to do some housekeeping here on this Saturday night from Angel Stadium. Roster move. Jansen Junk was selected from AAA Jacksonville so far this season with the Jumbo Shrimp, 4-3, a 2.78 ERA, 8 starts, 45 and a third innings pitch. Lake Bacher was optioned to AAA Jacksonville so far this year, 2-0, a 4.73 ERA, 22 appearances, 26 and 2/3. Rob Brantley transferred to the 60-day IL. I'm going to stand up here for our StreamYard audience because the national anthem is being played. I want to pay my respects. But again, it's great to have you aboard. Marlins on deck. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and AJ Ramos with you. Thanks for hanging out. Late night, game 2, middle game. Marlins looking to bounce back and punch back after dropping game 1 7-4. Let's get to our X-Bowl question of today. At Marlins Radio, in the movie Moneyball, Ron Washington is portrayed as the infield coach for the A's. Who did he train to get ready for first base? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. Ahmed, it is time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
Big walk rate guy tonight. 10.8% for Jose Soriano. The league average is 8.4. Marlins are going to have to draw at least 3 walks against him tonight. I like the Marlins to do so. 11 walks for Soriano over his last 3 starts. Show some plate discipline for Miami here tonight, folks. I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints the picture. AJ Ramos, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins on Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball is next. This is the Marlins Radio Network.